It's March 1st. It's Soup and Meatball time here on whatever channel you're watching us on. YouTube, Twitch. Soup's over there. Soup, Tim, how are you this week?
Well, we were just talking. It gives you an appreciation for when they say an athlete has what you consider a minor injury, and you're like, "Oh, suck it up." I have like slight tendonitis in my right Achilles, and if you were like, "Just suck it up and play like 25 minutes tonight," I'd be like, "No."
That's your Achilles, though.
I can't even It's painful to go get my mail.
No, I remember I used to think like pitchers with a blister that go on the IL. Like, what are you doing? No, that's a big deal when you're trying to. You got one of these things and you're trying to grip it right there. And I could see that, but I had told you on Thursdays I've been going bowling with a buddy of mine, and my drive leg is my left leg, and I had a literal pain in the ass. Like the pain went from my shin all the way up into the glute, and like walking after that, and we only bowled 3 games. It's not like, we went out. This was back in, I want to say 1999, so I will, and everyone will believe me. But my friend Beth, who lived in North Schuylkill, I went to hang out with her, and we went to a bowling alley in Pottsville. They had quarter game day there. I literally bowled 10 games. My arm was hanging on by a strip. She had only bowled twice, and she's like, "All right, I'm done." I'm like, "Dude, it's a quarter game. You mind if I just keep bowling?" That's fine.
What a fun day for her.
She got to laugh at me, I guess. No, that place was great, man. Like, they spent $3 to bowl literally all day. And yeah, my arm was hanging on by a string. We only bowled 3 games on Thursday, though.
Do you know how old we sound between the injuries and talking about quarter bowling and chicken wings cost a nickel?
No, chicken wings were a dime at the chicken coop.
Correct. I'm ashamed that I got that wrong. Tuesday nights.
How old do we look or feel? I don't know. Pretty old on both counts, I think. But I mean, that's the point of getting older. It's like yelling about how it used to be, right?
Cold soup and moldy meatballs.
Well, speaking of how it used to be, remember way back when the Oklahoma City Thunder were going to win 81 games?
I do. I was thinking this the other day.
Those are the days. I mean, you sent me a text earlier this week saying, don't look now. The Spurs are a game and a half back of OKC. And despite their 11-game winning streak, they're now 2 games back, but still. They take that hot streak into the Garden this afternoon to take on my Knicks. The Knicks have won 3 out of 4, and the ESPN computer gives New York a 52.9% chance of winning here, but I don't know if I feel that confident. The Spurs are just mad hot, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're the best team in basketball right now, and every time you have people saying, well, the Thunder is still the team to beat, or the Nuggets might be the team to beat in the West, or the Pistons in the East, the Spurs have been very persistent in saying, what about us? Everyone thought they were a year or 2 away, but not the way they're playing right now. I mean, they could conceivably have home court throughout the playoffs in the West, the dominant conference. And you would have to say they're one of the 3 best, in my opinion, one of the 3 best teams in the NBA. They're undefeated against the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Pistons, and they only have 1 loss each to the Rockets and the Thunder. And the wins they've had against the Thunder have been dominant.
They're not close. Yeah. I remember I told you I'm rewatching The Last Dance. I'm prototyping my football game, and I need something to watch that I've seen that I don't need to concentrate on. So in The Last Dance, they talked about how the Bulls had to get past the Pistons, and how the other teams couldn't get past the Bulls. It feels like the Spurs are at that point now where they need to get past the Thunder or get past the Nuggets. But they might just skip that step altogether, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it entirely depends on 2 things. Wembanyama's health. And then they have a very young backcourt. And, a lot of times, I think we saw it last year with Detroit, where they exceeded expectations getting to the playoffs. They played the Knicks tough in the first round, but just didn't quite have enough. And that's usually been the case with young teams where you need that playoff experience first. You don't just dive in and go right to the championship. But the way the Spurs are playing, they have to at least be in that conversation.
I'm with you. And if I had to have a rooting interest, I'd like to see the Knicks win. But at the end of the day, if I could pick the Knicks or Michigan or the Yankees, the Knicks are a distant third. I would like to see the Spurs come out of the West only because I think Wembanyama brings a different level of media attention, like something to, hey, look at this new guy, right? The top pick a couple years ago who can shoot threes just as much as he can drive to the basket, and he has like 4 blocks a game. I think he's really good for the league in a time when they need something good.
Yeah, and especially at a time where we're looking at LeBron easing into whatever he's going to do post basketball. Durant's 37, Steph's in year 17 of his career.
He's 37.
Yeah, he doesn't look a day over 45.
Hey, you, get back here.
Was that a real person you were yelling at, or
no? That was a Clerks reference. I thought you'd get that.
Yeah, very good.
The condescending. Very good. I'm over here trying to amuse myself, and you're telling me very good.
Well done.
No, so you brought up LeBron, and one of the things I heard on the radio this week, and I'm curious about your thoughts. Does LeBron owe it to the NBA to come back for one more year to do the farewell tour? And if he does, where does it make sense? Because honestly, financially, he can't get paid what you would pay a prime LeBron. But he's not coming back for $2 million. So does he come back? Would he come back? Would you come back? And where would you do it if you're him?
First of all, I don't know that LeBron owes the league anything.
How about the fans? Like a chance to say goodbye.
Right. I think after this season, whenever it ends for the Lakers, I think this will be his last season in LA. I just strongly get that.
In LA.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be back as a Laker.
Time to build around Luka and go forward. Yeah, I'm with you.
I think the place that obviously makes most sense is Cleveland. I just don't know that they can swing that unless he takes a drastic pay cut. And, for everything else that's been said about LeBron, he still is like a top 25 guy in the league. The Lakers have had kind of an up and down year. It's definitely Luka's team now. But LeBron is still a top 25, at worst, top 30 guy in the league.
He's out here averaging 21, 5 and 7, and he's 106 years old.
Yeah, and he's been limited a little with the sciatica. In terms of where he would go, though, I don't know that anywhere else other than possibly Miami would have the sentimental pull for a retirement tour.
Sure.
So I think he could land in just about any spot. He's not going to be playing in like Sacramento or Milwaukee. He's going to play in either a place he's played before or a major.
Wouldn't it be fun to see him in Milwaukee with Giannis, like in the middle of a retirement tour? I think that a small market like that, sure, why not?
I don't know that Giannis will be there next year though.
True.
Yeah. So as for where he ends up, I think there are any place other than LA is at least partially in play. I don't see him going to like the Knicks. I don't think would bring him in. Really, Cleveland makes the most sense. I think. But
I'm trying to see if there's like Vegas odds on where he'll play next year. There's not. They're only taking bets as to whether he will play next year or not. Now, the odds to that are 70%.
I mean, it feels like LeBron's the kind of guy who's not just going to slink off quietly.
If you are Adam Silver I think you are sending him text messages every day saying, hey, come on back. They need something. He would be a distraction. The LeBron James retirement tour would be a positive distraction. And I don't know if I like the concept of the retirement tour. I didn't hate it when Mariano did it. When Jeter did it, it was kind of like, okay. And now like everybody of value seems to get one. And it's like it's not special, but if, for the home fans, for the Cleveland fans, or for wherever he ends up, that it would be neat. I don't think the fans of Sacramento have to say goodbye to LeBron. I don't think we have to give him a gift. That feels weird to me.
And just from the fan perspective, you and I got to see Ortiz in the Bronx on the David Ortiz retirement tour.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I got to see Dr. J when they were still the New Jersey Nets at the old Meadowlands. I got to see Dr. J on his retirement tour. So, it's a cool thing for the fans. I think at the very least, if this is LeBron's last year, he would at least have to tell the league so they could do something for the playoffs to try to promote the hell out of that.
Yeah, for the one series that the Lakers will be around for.
Yeah, last night notwithstanding, the Lakers are not a very good team.
No, and the West is stacked. But there's what does the play into the playoffs start? We have a month.
April.
So we have a month. What is rounding down now? College basketball, and I watched, or I tried to watch a little bit of Kansas, Arizona last night. I don't know if you can tell, I've got this head thing, and I'm sniffly and I'm coughy. I've been like that. Go back and watch the last 20 episodes of Soup and Meatballs. I'm a sick mess. But I'm sitting there watching college basketball, in and out of naps, and Kansas was keeping close with Arizona, but then I wake up in the final score, Arizona wins by 23. Duke won a big game against Virginia at home. That wasn't close.
Impressive too.
Michigan in their season. I think you're looking at Michigan, Duke, Arizona as the obvious 1, 2, 3 seeds. Duke in the East, Michigan in the Midwest, Arizona out West. I started thinking to myself, who's the other number one team going to be? Because Houston just had a really lousy week.
Right.
I don't know if you saw them.
I still think Houston's going to be in the conversation depending on what the next few weeks hold.
I think they have to win their tournament, and that means they have to beat Arizona.
Agreed. UConn just had a very impressive win over St. John's.
Yeah, UConn is actually the bracketology number 4.
Yeah.
If you follow that was updated on February 27th. I looked at it for a different reason. And I saw, look at that. So UConn would be their choice. I'm okay with UConn.
Yeah. My dislike for Danny Hurley aside, UConn, they're, 2 of the last 3 titles have gone through Connecticut, and they're having another great season. They'd be an absolutely worthy number 1.
Yeah, Michigan just got some bad news. I don't know if you saw this. They lost LJ Kaysen, who was a backup guard. Bench player, scores 8 points a game.
Yeah.
40% three-point shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know how much this impacts them going forward. They go to Iowa on Thursday. They should be pushovers. Try to win a big game next Sunday. The Spartans come to town. And then the Big Ten tournament comes into play. I don't know if Michigan can do anything to lose their 1 seed.
What happened?
Aside from losing 3 in a row.
What happened to Kaysen?
ACL. And was it in the Illinois game? I think I read.
Yeah, I watched the Illinois game the other night, and he was struggling. I didn't see a particular moment where they were like, "Oh, that's an ACL," or he had to leave. But I know he was struggling to get up and down the court at different points.
Let me see. Out for the remainder of the season, just tearing ACL versus Illinois. And that's a bummer for any college kid that you're right on the cusp of the part of the season where it matters. Like I don't know. That's a real bummer for him. And
we say about Michigan, you talk about the impressive win, Arizona over Kansas and Duke over UVA. Michigan, the win over Illinois, who was ranked 10 or 11 in the country, that was also a very nice win for Blue.
Yeah. The one team I wanted to ask you about, I wasn't paying attention to them. I saw a TikTok video on these guys. The team out of Miami, Ohio. I don't know if you saw this. They're 29-0 right now.
Yeah, the only undefeated team in the country.
They're ranked 21st, and it looks like their best win was against Akron, who is now 24-5. But Akron's best win is an 18-point loss to Purdue. So Miami, Ohio, this is why I looked at bracketology. They have them as an 11 seed. The MAC, it's not like a power conference, but they're still – it's not like what you would consider like Jackson State or Montana State out of the Big Sky. Like, they're not those – I don't think Miami, Ohio is that kind of team. Can you imagine a 30-0 team or a 33-0 team as an 11 seed?
I can, because we see 2 and 3 loss teams from the mid majors who end up as 10, 11, 12 seeds.
This is an undefeated team though. That 0 just makes it look so bad. Their schedule is so poor. I get it.
Do you remember that St. Joe's team with Jameer Nelson and Delonte West?
Yeah.
They went undefeated. They win the A10.
Yeah.
And there were people who were, and the A10 isn't, the Big Ten or the SEC or the ACC, but
I'm not even sure it's the MAC.
The A10 at that point
was it
still pretty decent. You had St. Joe's. Temple was in the A10 at that point.
Temple, yeah.
But you had people arguing that an undefeated St. Joe's team shouldn't be a top 3 seed even. Because when St. Joe's got a 1 seed, and people were like, the A10 champ gets a 1 seed?
Wow.
I know Bruce Pearl said that if Miami, Ohio doesn't win their conference, they shouldn't even be in the tournament.
Wow.
I
that's
think
cold-blooded.
That is cold-blooded. And I think it's going to be the biggest point of interest on Selection Sunday is what the committee does with Miami, Ohio.
Especially if they don't win the MAC. If they don't win the MAC and they don't make the big dance, that would be crazy.
I would rather see a 1-loss Miami, Ohio get in and try to prove itself than see, the 9th best team from the SEC or, like a 12-loss team.
Where they put them, if Miami won their opening round game, I don't know who they had them up against as the 11, but if they won that game, they would probably face Kansas. Kansas was the 3 in that little segment. So the run would probably end there, I would imagine. But you never know.
No one thought Bucknell would beat Kansas way back when, and they're still showing that on CBS every March.
There you go. Joe Aberdeen might have thought that. I know you. Joe Aberdeen's a buddy of mine. He went to Bucknell, and he would come out and hang out at IUP with Jason Macco and the boys. But speaking of IUP, IUP had a bad week last week. They dropped both the men and the women dropped their final game to Gannon, of all places, the Zelda reference. IUP ladies fall to 2 out west. They still receive a first-round bye in the PSAC tournament. They'll host the winner of Millersville East Stroudsburg this Wednesday. The men, on the other hand, they play in the first round. They're the 3 seed now out west. They get a home game against the Vulcans of Edinburgh. That's a team they beat by 20 and by 10. And if they win, they get a trip to Westchester, which just sounds brutal. 253 miles on a bus, 4 hours. Oh.
That's worse than Tunkhannock.
It is worse than Tunkhannock. And Westchester, the 2 seed. So that would be, a good game. The last time IUP traveled that far west, did they play Westchester in football? No, it was Kutztown. That's it. It was not a good trip out east. So hopefully this time will be a little bit different. We'll see.
Yeah, and I didn't get to see much of the BU teams. I know the BU women open postseason play. I believe it's tomorrow. The men just had a really tough season.
Yeah, the men are playing intramurals right now.
Yeah.
That's
just they were kind of playing out the string. I know when I saw them a couple weeks ago, and you know, kind of their best player was like a JUCO transfer. They're still building something on the men's team, but the women were decent.
There you
So
go. Do you know who the
like
women
a
open up
500
with?
team, the women they had some size. They could be building towards something.
Who do the women open with?
That I didn't see. I just know they're slotted in to play tomorrow night, and they'll be on the road, I believe.
If my producer can get this link to open, he can tell you. It's spinning. Like I have 3 windows open right now, and it's like, oh, we can't possibly work. It's 2026. I will tell you this: I do not like the Bloomsburg website. It is an incredible pain in the butt. I think it looks like they open against Shepherd.
Okay.
The West Virginia team in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Of course. Yeah.
Good with that.
And the BU site is slow. Like they have like the games, they show them live on the site, and yet they don't. If you don't catch it live, they don't update like the box score or the result until like the next day sometimes.
It's very standard speaker-esque.
Yeah, be better. BU
or
a sports website,
or the Chambersburg Public Opinion, where the football game on Friday would be covered in depth on Monday. But whatever. Speaking of football, if we don't talk about the NFL soon, we're going to get fined. 319 draft prospects invited to Indianapolis, and yesterday a bunch of dudes ran 40 yards and some other dudes timed them. Exciting stuff. But one thing that stood out for me, because I did I clicked on this for like 12 seconds, and it was right around that 12 seconds that the network said, this is the fastest overall group ever. Like as a average time or something. And they put the times up on the screen. Everybody except the quarterbacks, I think. This was the fastest group. So I guess that's exciting if you're into this kind of thing. Even the years when, the Bears were drafting in the top 5, I never got really big into the combine. Did you?
No, probably more like in the 90s, early 2000s. But like I think anyone who sits and watches it on NFL Network is just a big nerd.
Yeah. The one interesting storyline, I guess, it's always the quarterbacks, right? Like Mendoza's the presumptive number 1. He didn't do anything, and he didn't have to. But if you're interested, Ty Simpson, CBS did a little they graded them out. They said Ty Simpson gets an A, late first round prediction, so that probably means Pittsburgh.
That was the big news this week, like leading up to it. Oh, Ty Simpson's going to throw. He doesn't know these receivers, but he's going to throw. Justin Herbert threw, and that improved his. He's a quarterback at an event to evaluate how good of a quarterback he is.
Why would you make a big deal out of throwing? He didn't run. He didn't do the measurables. I think I read there was a kid from Illinois who did, and CBS said it shows his competitiveness. No, it shows the fact that I can't remember his name, and he needs to do something. He's not Fernando Mendoza. He better get out there and do everything to try to get drafted, period.
And that's what Simpson's doing, is that every 5 spots that he moves up in the first round is a little more money. That it's a little better position at the negotiating table. On
your rookie contract, which is now it's a big deal to move up those spots.
Yeah,
they had Nussmeier and Beck both they gave him a B+, which means they felt like day 2. Penn State's Drew Aller didn't have a really good combine. Apparently had some footwork issues, if that's a thing. But they still graded him out as potentially a day 2 prospect. I don't know. The Bears don't need a quarterback, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
neither does Philadelphia. I don't think.
We do all this like micro analysis at the combine, and then like 5 years later, we just look at how wrong we got it a lot of the time.
Do you remember? Do you ever see have you seen the video where Mel Kiper was talking about you need to draft Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
The Colts drafted Marshall Faulk, and Dilfer or Kiper goes off on the Colts upper management saying this is why you don't compete for Super Bowls with Jim Harbaugh as your quarterback.
Yeah, and
By the way, Jim Harbaugh
shot back at him on air.
Yeah, by the way, Jim Harbaugh made the AFC Championship game that year. Just saying. I don't know who can be more wrong and more employable, the weather person or Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah, I mean, it's an educated guess, but it's still just a guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady went 199 for a reason.
I want to talk about that because what if Tom Brady gets picked 5th? Is he the same Tom Brady? I think Tom Brady's mentality was like very Michael Jordan-ish, like back in The Last Dance. You hear all these stories about how he tried to self-motivate himself. I think Tom Brady, and they did a 30 for 30 on the Brady 6 or whatever. He could tell you every quarterback that was drafted in front of him. If he was picked in the first round, does he have that edge?
Yeah, guys like that, it just would have been something else. Like you talk about a guy like Michael Jordan, one of the famous parts of The Last Dance is when he's talking about when Karl Malone won MVP and Jordan was like, okay, and I took that personal.
my favorite. Well, I just saw this episode yesterday. This guy from the was it the Washington Bullets at the time or the Washington team? They played a back to back with them.
Yes.
And this guy had a really good game, and he's like, "Good game, Mike." And Mike was like, "The hell you just say to me?"
Yeah.
And he put out for 36 points in the first half of the next game, and then later on, Wilbon's like, "Did he really say that?" And Mike's like, "Nah." He just when you have to make stuff up to motivate yourself. I thought that was funny, but like. If you're a quarterback who's picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, like a Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, like you show up with more to prove, I think, than a guy like Caleb Williams or
even like a guy like Jalen Hurts. We see it where he was an early second round guy, but he came in. With something to prove because of the whole Carson Wentz situation. And Jalen Hurts still very much plays like that because every year they're like, well, he only wins because of the talent around him. He only wins because of the defense. There's always going to be some kind of grievance, some kind of gripe, some kind of chip on the shoulder.
It helps, but somebody's got to take the snaps and throw the ball to A.J. Brown.
Well, for now. We'll see if he stays there.
Yeah, we'll see. Speaking of A.J. Brown, like right now, the NFL salary cap just came out. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but $301.2 million, a new milestone for the cap. The numbers were sent to clubs on Friday, I have written down. So teams have till March 11th to get under the cap or face the penalties. And early Mr. Smarty Pants list for you. Tim, are you ready?
Oh,
Can you tell me the teams with the best NFL cap space situation? Like who has the most room under the cap? I'll give you a clue. They're not good teams.
Yeah, I was going to say the Raiders.
They're number 2. $89 million under the cap.
Spend it wisely, fellas.
Seriously.
The Jets.
Jets are number 3, $88 million under the cap. Who wants to go there even for the money, though?
The Titans.
Titans are number 1, $94.7 million under the cap. That's insane.
Smarty Pants.
That's there is a good team at number 4 and a potentially good team at number 5, a probably good team at number 5 if their quarterback gets healthy.
Who's that?
The Chargers at 4, so the Chargers are $85 million under the cap, and then the Washington Commanders $71 million under.
Washington makes sense. But I didn't realize the Chargers were in that good a financial shape.
Yeah, neither did I. Eagles are 17th. They're $13.6 million under. The Bears would have to shed some cash if they don't want penalized. They're 26th. They're only $6 million over. It's not like, the Vikings or the Cowboys, who are 45.5 and $56 million over the cap, respectively. That is crazy. And speaking of craziness with that money and the Cowboys, the franchise tag window opens this week.
Yeah.
And I heard on the radio, like, the Cowboys are considering franchising George Pickens. That would be $27.3 million. Oh, boy, I hope they do that.
Yeah. It sounds like they're really in for another negotiating war because George Pickens has been talking about wanting something annually in the neighborhood of 35 to 37 million.
This is George Pickens we're talking about. Like,
he had a
is he a top? I know he had a good year, but is he a top 5 receiver?
No.
Would you take him over Jefferson? No. Would you take him over Chase?
No.
Would you take him over his teammate, CeeDee Lamb?
No.
Probably not. Would you take him over Puka Nacua?
No.
Would you take him over AJ Brown?
Yes.
That you take? Is that just because of the head case situation in the locker room?
And AJ is starting to. He's north of 30.
Okay. Now I'm losing myself. JSN. You're not taking him over JSN.
Right. But I mean, just as we rattle off, the top receivers in the game, I mean, Pickens is a top 10 guy, maybe even top 7. But he doesn't crack that top 5 of, JJ and Chase.
And that's where the $30 million number comes for me. Like, if you're not a top 5 guy, and right now like I said, the franchise tag would be $27 million. That feels like a lot for a guy they brought in to be their number 2 guy.
Right, but also he's a guy they brought in to be the number 2 who has kind of supplanted CD as their number 1.
Well, CD got hurt, and that hurt him. So
he does not have the kind of leverage that Micah Parsons did, and look where he ended up.
Nope.
He ended up getting shipped out to Green Bay, which good for Micah, but get him out of the East.
Get him out of this. Get him out of the North. Send him to Tampa. Now, there's some other interesting names I saw listed that might get franchised. Hendrickson in Cincinnati, whether he stays with the now undefeated Bengals or they trade him, I don't know. Max Crosby was talked about. Kyle Pitts was an interesting name because here's a guy, they drafted him 4th, had a really good rookie season, then he fell off. Like, where is this guy's a big bust? But he just had a really good season. 2nd as far as tight ends go in catches and yards. He may get a tag this year, and just instead of a long-term deal, just as see what you really have with him, because the verdict is he a bust? Is he not? I don't know.
I'm most interested in those pass rush guys, like you talked about, Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby, because those guys are always in demand, and their teams, Eagles, who
Bears,
who could really make a push to bring them in to try to put their defense over the top.
I think the Bears end up drafting someone for what it's going to cost to get Crosby or Hendrickson. I remember what they did with Khalil Mack and losing the 2 firsts, and it set them back. I'd rather just keep building through the draft, and that's what I would do. I know they're really good, but they're not 2 first round good.
And that's another one where you start to look at age, where, I mean,
they're on the wrong side of 30, both of them.
Yeah. And, along the line, it's, you can start to see that breakdown happen pretty quickly after 30.
Yeah. The other interesting name out in Seattle, Kenneth Walker. So Seattle doesn't franchise tag anybody. Yeah. Well, they've done it twice. They franchised a kicker and a linebacker, and they traded the linebacker. But Zach Charbonnet got hurt. He's not coming back until late next year. I don't know if you want to give a running back a long-term deal. It might make financial sense to get the 3rd tag out there in Seattle. I'm just saying.
But from everything that I've heard from my sources, my source being, like the morning panel show on ESPN.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like Seattle's very eager to franchise him. So
they have time.
Yeah, I mean,
they have time to watch all these guys at the draft run, and like I said, the Bears got a 7th round pick who turned into a really, really strong running back. You find them places.
Well, and that's the other thing they were talking about is that the whole Pickens saga, they'd be surprised if he's at any team activities or camp, and this could play out to almost Labor Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the comparison to Micah really might be more apt than we realize.
Isn't that what Dallas wants, though? I mean, this is the Dallas regular season. This is when they shine, they come out and they make headlines, and Jerry's going to say something stupid, and we're going to talk about it because that's what the media does. I don't know. We'll see. That's football off season, and we're just exiting the major league off season. Spring training games going on. WBC starts up this week, and I want to start there for you because I saw this headline. Tariq Skubal is going to make one start in the WBC against Great Britain. I honestly, do we really need him for Great Britain?
Yeah, that's
we do. I think a kid from Hazelton could keep us in that game.
That's a real like a bazooka to kill a fly kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the thinking, but have you read what the thinking behind that is? Is it a timing thing? Is it just that they want to like?
I guess I'm a victim of only reading through the headline. I thought it might have been he didn't want to put too much into the WBC as preps for his walk year in Detroit or wherever his walk year ends up.
Right.
I don't know. I think that you could treat the WBC like a spring training start. I don't know if they have these guys going 7-8 innings or if they're just throwing 4 and 5. It's been 4 years since I've seen a WBC. I honestly forget how they treat those starters. I was just kind of hoping they could throw Garrett Crochet on the roster and just get it over with.
It seems to be pretty situational about who goes how long against who. Because
it's early for everybody. It's
right.
So,
you said it starts this week, the WBC?
Yeah. So pool play, WBC pool play starts, I wanted to say Thursday, but March 4th, Chinese Taipei at Australia. March 6th, 7th, you got Puerto Rico. March 6th at 7 p.m., Puerto Rico at Colombia. Korea at Japan on March 7th. The DR hosting the Netherlands on March 8th. The U.S. team gets going next week, March 9th.
Okay.
Mexico at the U.S. That should be a good game.
Yeah, and the WBC it's always like a nice way to sort of ease into the baseball season. So that'll be a nice little thing to look forward to here in March.
The thing I'm looking at right now, I don't know if you've seen this in full display, in full effect, the ABS system. So this year, 2026, each team is going to start the game with 2 challenges for batters or pitchers to challenge whether or not an umpire has called a strike or a ball correctly. And here's the thing. If you're successful, you don't lose your challenge. So a team can have 20 challenges if they all overturn the call. I saw in one of the Yankee games, they got 6 straight challenges correct.
Yeah.
Which is like, now it doesn't take a lot of time. It's like 5 seconds or so. Of all of the challenges this spring, there's been 457. 242 of them have been overturned. That's a 53% success rate. I don't know how bad it's going to get for umpires. But like when it's more than 50%, I think that's bad. In a game where if you get on base 40% of the time, you're a Hall of Famer. If you get a hit 30% of the time, you're the best player in baseball right now. 53% feels like a big number.
Yeah, and especially in a sport where we talk about, one pitch can be the difference. You extend an at bat or you lose an at bat.
The difference between a 2-1 count and a 1-2 count in terms of getting a hit. It's like it's a big spread.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're saying, like the count's going to change how a pitcher attacks a batter. How a batter's going to look at what he's swinging at, what he's taking. I can't remember the one game where it might be the game you're referencing where there were like 5 pitches in like a 10 pitch sequence where the umpire was wrong.
Yeah, and some of them. Now look at I saw. Oh, I can't think of who it was. They said he had the best batting eye ever. Called a strike and he challenged it, and it was a ball, but it was a ball by a hair length, like it was razor thin. That's fine. Like you can't. The umpire made a mistake. There was one though that was almost down the middle. It was, if you break up the strike zone into the octothorpe,
yeah,
it was right at the bottom of the middle. So the dead center is like the X in the middle of tic-tac-toe. It was just down on the line. That is as dead center as it can be. And dude called a ball. And the catcher's like, dude, come on. No. He couldn't challenge it fast enough.
Yeah. And I'd have to imagine for an umpire, the pitch low and in has to be the hardest one to call because your view's obscured the most.
Sure. I don't know. 53% it's where we're at right now. And I don't know. The link that I looked at, let me see if Baseball Savant will give them a shout out. They ranked the percentage as the, who got the call right the most. And they said the catchers, I guess pitchers are allowed to challenge too, but the catchers had a much higher percentage of getting the call overturned. So with only 2 challenges, you wonder if the manager says, look, pitcher, I know you've got this big ego. Let your backstop take care of it for you, because with two of them, it's an asset you don't want to lose, especially like in the first inning.
Yeah, I was just going to say, ego comes into play with a pitcher or pride or whatever you want to call it, where, a competitor at that level is like, what do you mean I missed?
Yeah. And these pitchers got to like pretend like Uncle Marcellus is talking to them. Like, that's pride messing with you.
I think this is going to be like the big story of March and April, and everyone's going to be debating this.
I hope it's not a big story into the regular season. It's just like 1 or 2 a game, and it doesn't change things.
Yeah, I think it's almost going to be like the what was it, the torpedo bat, where that was like the big topic.
I remember that.
Where everyone was like, "Oh, the torpedo, this is going to revolutionize the game," it was such a big deal. I had to think, what was that weird shaped bat called again?
I hadn't thought about a torpedo bat since last spring training.
Yeah, So I think this very much has the potential to be the torpedo bat of 2026.
There you go. I hadn't thought of the PECOTA standings since last year around this time, and I decided I'm going to look it up, see where they're at. Who do you think PECOTA, so the computers with Baseball Prospectus, who does PECOTA have with the best record in the league for this year? Tough question.
Dodgers, yeah.
Now, Mr. Smarty Pants, how many wins do you think the computer is giving the Dodgers right now?
104. Did
you look at it this morning?
No.
That's awesome. 104.4 is what they give them. I really thought they'd have them like at 110. They have them at 104 with the Giants at 81. So they're 23 games better than.
I was only thinking that you had to play it conservatively because last year a lot of people were like, "Oh, will the Dodgers win 110?" Yeah. So I was like, "Okay, knock a couple off of that, but still put it over 100."
Yeah, out east they like the Blue Jays at 88.6, the Yankees at 87. They have the Orioles over the Red Sox, and the Orioles added Pete Alonso, and that's fine. But I like Boston's rotation. I think Boston makes the playoffs again. We'll do our baseball predictions down the road, but just to get that out into the world where the computers have them. Last baseball thing, I was talking to one of the resource officers at the school, big Yankee fan, and we had to relook up the schedule when opening day was, and it says Netflix. God, Netflix has the Yankees at the Giants on Wednesday, March 25th, but then opening day is March 26th across Major League Baseball. And I got to say, I don't like that the Dodgers won the World Series, but if we're doing this special pre-opening day stuff, it should really be at the home of the World Series champs, not Yankees at Giants. Like,
and so it's airing on Netflix. Are they doing it? Like, I haven't seen any kind of promotion for this or anything. Like,
no, I didn't know either. And do you remember last year we talked about ESPN dropping Sunday Night Baseball?
Yeah.
ESPN is still broadcasting some baseball this year, according to the schedule that we looked at.
Okay.
So like they didn't entirely drop baseball. I have to look up to see like what are they doing. Maybe they just got rid of Sunday Night Baseball because
they got rid of Sunday Night Baseball because now it's going to be a WNBA showcase.
But they're still broadcasting like a Tuesday night game, like the Yankees and Athletics.
Are there any other? So you get like a Fox game on Saturdays.
Yeah.
You get random ESPN games that they don't care about clearly because they're just letting the contract expire. You get the Amazon games.
Let me see if I don't want notifications. This is really if you want tickets. And I forget what app we were looking at. Like Yankees.com, it's if I want to buy tickets. And if I look at ESPN, I'm sure they'll have the schedule, but I don't know if they would be out there, sharing the Fox broadcast. They might. I'm going to look here. Like again, computer is super slow.
Some games during the season.
Yeah, they usually have the Saturday game, don't they?
I know they do like random like Tuesday night games on TBS. The Amazon deal is, I think that's exclusively through with the Yankees.
Okay, so ESPN is pushing out. So Netflix for the opener. Game 3 against the Giants is on Fox. TBS has a couple. MLB Network has, one of the Boston games. But here it is, Monday, May 25th, Yankees at Royals on ESPN at 3:40. Is May 25th? That's not the holiday, is it?
That might be Memorial Day.
It is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's why ESPN has a thing. But I assume because ESPN has that game that they might have other games, but I don't know if it's through their streaming thing. Like, they're putting out pro wrestling on ESPN now.
The way that Major League Baseball, like that they don't make opening day a huge deal, the same way that, that the opening game of the NFL season, like the NFL has like a grand premiere for their season on Thursday night. And then like that first Sunday and then that first Monday, the first Sunday night game, like they get you so hyped for each
I'm with you.
Step of the way for week 1 of the NFL season. And the way that Major League Baseball is like, oh yeah, here's a 4 a.m. game in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
The way that they do
absolutely
nothing with the 4th of July when, the NFL has Thanksgiving, the NBA has Christmas Day. Major League Baseball could announce the all-star rosters. They could make it a day of baseball, and instead they're just like, I don't know. Maybe there's like a game on MLB Network if you get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not our problem. Look at your own TV.
I'm absolutely with you there, and I can tell you the Sports Scheduling Group LLC is based in Butler, Pennsylvania. They create the MLB schedule, and I've got half a mind to put them on the list. Matter of fact, Sports Scheduling Group LLC based in Butler, you just made the list.
This rant has made us sound older than my Achilles and your cold and strained glute combined.
I'll tell you what. Why not make the list a twofer? You're gonna like this. I think. I have to share my screen because I think that's the only way you're going to be able to hear this.
Okay.
So I have a video here. I want to share with you. This kid's name is Brian Black. So I'm going to hit play. Hopefully you can hear this.
I said the PSAC was the most absurd conference in college sports, and I was wrong on that. Let me introduce you guys to the Penn State University Athletic Conference, where every single school is Penn State. In the Penn State Athletic Conference, every single team is a Penn State satellite campus, or a part of the Penn State system, which means they're all Penn State and then the city name. I'm sure I'm going to butcher some of these, but you have Penn State Dubois, Penn State Fayette, Penn State Hazleton,
Dubois.
Penn State Lehigh Valley. Yes, everything is Penn State. You'll be thinking, well, just because they're part of the Penn State system
It
doesn't
gets
mean they
worse.
go by Penn State. They probably go by like Lehigh Valley or Mont Alto. No, they all go by Penn State whatever. So Penn State Beaver goes by Penn State Beaver. Not only do they all go by Penn State city name, they're all the Nittany Lions. Look at, you have the Penn State Beaver Nittany Lions, whose logo is just the Penn State logo, and then Beaver in small print under it. There's the Penn State Greater Allegheny Nittany Lions. The Penn State Shuckykill Nittany Lions. It's called the Nittany Lions.
Did he call it Shuffy Kill?
Yes. Yeah. And listen to Allegheny. Listen to this.
Look at, you have the Penn State Beaver Nittany Lions, whose logo is just the Penn State logo, and then Beaver in small print under it. There's the Penn State Greater Allegheny Nittany Lions. The Penn State Shuckykill Nittany Lions. It's called the Penn State University Athletic Conference.
So there you go. Kid, listen. It's Schuylkill. It's a relatively easy name for a Pennsylvania native. This guy's easily not from Pennsylvania. It's not like this is Wilkes-Barre, where there's like an argument. Is it Wilkes-Barre, Barre, whatever? So don't come at me, Brian Black, and tell me that the PSAC is ridiculous because he made a video prior to that. When you can't pronounce Schuylkill, Brian Black, you just made the list.
Brian Black. Got him. We showed that poor guy who is complaining the same way that we are.
No, we do it in a colorful way. So there we go.
His last name is Black. Colorful.
No, you like how we did that?
Well played.
Well done. Quick hitter time. Are you ready?
I am always ready.
Number one, my local team, Chambersburg, knocks off Cedar Cliff in the District 3 fifth place game. They will head to States to face either Plymouth White Marsh or Coatesville. They play in the District 1 title game later today. Chambersburg gets the loser. If it's Coatesville, they've got the number 3 rated sophomore in the country who's a swing guard at 6'6". What's more ridiculous, Tim? The fact that we have rated sophomores in high school or that Coatesville has a 6'6" kid playing guard?
Neither one really made me raise my eyebrows all that much.
At 6'6", you're generally playing in that down low in high school.
Right, but that strikes me as like
today.
a developmental, they have their eye towards, either Division I or whatever route he's going. They're trying to develop him into, like an elite swing player. Like that's not that surprising. I'll say that we have like nationally rated sophomores is like marginally more surprising.
Excellent. So let's try to marginally surprise you even more now. According to Hector Gomez's Twitter feed, he cites former MLB player Carlos Baerga in saying that Ellie De La Cruz will be the first major league player to sign a, let me get my $1 billion contract. Ellie's a nice player, but $1 billion, really?
Yeah, he's not getting $1 billion. Not unless he does something ridiculous. Which, look, he's a nice player. He's an all-star, fast as all get out, but
$1 billion.
He's not getting $1 billion. Someone will soon, but not.
Speaking of ridiculous, you have to be able to see this. So hopefully your specs are working. The Sun Belt Conference tournament starts on Tuesday. And you can look at this bracket. They debuted this last year. This is a gauntlet, literally. So the 11 through 14 seeds, they're starting out at the left. The top seed, Troy, they need to win one game to make the finals. They're not going to play until next Sunday against the winner of that top portion there. What's even crazier about this bracket is that the 2 seed, Marshall, is part of a 6-way tie for second place. The team that actually ended up with the 7 seed is Arkansas State. Arkansas State had the same conference record and an overall better record, but because of their tiebreakers, they're the 7 seed now. My question to you, Tim, is do you think other leagues should go to a gauntlet-style tournament to end their conference. Would that make the regular season more important?
It would definitely make the regular season more important, but no, this is ridiculous. This is too heavily weighted. I said,
speaking of ridiculous.
Yeah, this is too heavily weighted against those teams on the left have essentially no chance.
Always a chance.
Well, yeah.
I think that 2 to 7 range, that they're all the same record. I don't know. There's a thing about, rust versus rest, and we'll see. I saw that today. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Let me talk.
But imagine being one of those teams on the left who gets through the gauntlet, has to play whatever, like 7 games, and just to get to the tournament. Like, you have no legs left.
If anything that we learned last week with ChatGPT, if Nikola Jokic can win 37 straight games, so can Arkansas State.
Well, if the team on the left gets to beat Timothy Chalamet in the first NCAA tournament, more power to them.
They have the easiest road to the tournament ever. They're playing like Screech Powers. This week, Tim, I assume you saw this, but Scream 7 premiered this week. Tim, how many of the Screams have you seen?
I believe, look, I saw the first one, and it was one of the great movie-going experiences. Did we see that together?
Sure, why not? I don't know.
At the old Churchill Cinema, I know I saw it opening night at the old Churchill Cinema with a group of people. The theater was packed, and the theater was going nuts. It was good. So much fun. The horse is long since dead. We can stop beating it.
I've seen Scream 1, 2, and 3. I've seen Scream 1. I've seen Scream 1 a bunch of times. 2 and 3, I think I've seen once a piece. Or I might have seen Scream 2 maybe 2 or 3 times. Scream 3 was a one-time shot. I forget everything about it. I didn't know 4, 5, and 6 existed. I didn't. Straight to disc. I can't imagine them being released.
I think I'd heard rumors about 4, 5, and 6. Like Mikey Madison was in one of them apparently because they asked her to be in 7. She was like, Pizza Hut, who's this? I gotta go by. She's got an Oscar. She doesn't have to do that anymore.
My goodness.
I think Jenna Ortega was in 1 or 2 of those middle Scream movies. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've seen at least 2, maybe 3 Screams.
There it is. Number 5, and melancholy happy trails to singer-songwriter Neil Sedaka, who passed away at the age of 86 on Friday. I got a little thing on I get these headlines on my phone, and I think I got him confused with John Cicada. Sure. But Neil Sedaka, the singer-songwriter, back in the 60s and 70s, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, and Calendar Girl. Those were big songs, I guess. Or his big songs, rather. I'm sorry. Last one. This was just a late ad because I saw it on Facebook today, so no chance to vet whether or not this is actually true. 18 years ago today, Desmond finally manages to call Penny on Lost in the episode The Constant, one of the best episodes in television history. That was a big – I don't know about you. You said you're rewatching Lost.
Yeah.
But when Desmond finally gets through to Penny on the phone, Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel.
Yeah, obviously that's a great episode. I know a lot of people have that as their favorite. I actually think my favorite is the season 5 finale, The Incident. I just love that because I love the time travel season. And then they have to blow up a nuclear warhead in the hatch that's being built in 1977.
The guy from the video, who's the doctor guy from the training videos?
He goes by different names throughout. Sometimes he's Dr. Wick. Sometimes he's Dr. Candle. Sometimes he's Dr. Hallowax. It's always some sort of play on like candles or something like that. But
I think when we first met him in the time travel seasons, that was kind of wild to me. Like, oh my gosh, there he is. He's the guy from the videos. She's training us on like the Eagle Station or whatever. And he is yelling at people like he's Tony Farnell barking out orders.
He's Miles' dad, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So a little bit of lost history for you. And
I've got a quick hitter for you.
oh,
Let's hear your best Scottish accent Desmond impression. Say, "I'll see you in another life, brother."
I'll see you in another life, brother.
That's not okay.
It's hard with the throat and the mucal situations. When I first saw that, I think my second run through, I'm like, I should start saying that to people. See you in another life, brother. I should start calling people that. Like, it never stuck for me.
You would definitely come off as a professional wrestler, and not as a mysterious Scotsman.
Not a good one. So, well, I'll tell you what. The lost thing kind of leads us into our draft today, Tim. What are we drafting?
What are we drafting? Oh yeah,
you didn't know?
I've got my UGI bill here. I had to refer to that. So Scrubs came back, whatever you call it, reboot or revival on Hulu. It's a show that we both enjoy.
Yeah.
And I've seen the first 2 episodes.
I have.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about that right now before we draft? Because I'm going to irritate some people, I think.
Well, let's say this. We're drafting our favorite Scrubs characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about it.
I liked episode 1.
I liked
and then episode 2 happened, and I thought to myself, I don't think I'm going to like this series. I'll watch it because, like, Jen is totally into it, but I don't like the PC police. I don't like. I'm not into the new characters. Like they're going to take a minute, maybe.
They're going to take a minute for me. I don't know any of their names, and right now I don't care.
When we drafted our all-time worst or most annoying TV characters, was it because of JD or was it because of Ted? I forget.
JD was definitely brought up if he wasn't the reason.
If whoever the reason was, I think if we put JD and Ted from How I Met Your Mother in a spaceship and shot them into the sun, the world would be 100% better. The 2 of the worst characters of all time. And like I like happy endings in my sitcoms. Like for my dramas, like The Losts or, Stranger Things might be considered a drama. I don't think that was a sitcom. Like the sad and I'm fine with that there. But in my sitcoms, like we're rewatching the old stuff. I think we're in season 5. Well, I forgot that JD and Elliot got married.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? That's good for them. That's the happy ending that we needed in this series. And then like the season 9 thing came, that whole season, like I think this reboot is forgetting that, which is a good thing. That was terrible. I didn't need to see that they got divorced and that they hate each other now, because now they're just going to play that. Oh, they're going to get back together. I don't need that. That whole the JD storyline that they're going to do, it's going to irritate me all year. I know it.
See, I like the PC police Vanessa Bayer character. And it also, I felt like gave us the best joke of either the first 2 episodes when the Todd comes in and he doesn't make a dirty joke. And then she says about personal growth.
That's fine. I guess. Yeah, that's. Let's draft our people. We can talk about it as we go. Right. Give me a number and a color. This was the right one.
Let's do 5 black.
1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is the Social Security Act of 1935, signed into law August 14th. It's my anniversary. No kidding.
Hey.
Establishing a system of federal old age benefits. Yeah, good times. It is unfortunately not black. It is the 9 of Hearts, meaning I get the presumptive number 1 pick. And if it wasn't your number 1 pick, I don't know what I'll tell you what, I had 2 of them that I don't feel bad about taking. But let me get this in here. Max drafts first. Yay. I am going to take my favorite character, Dr. Percival Ulysses Perry Cox.
Yeah, I'm already crossing him off my list.
No, that's so one of my complaints about the new season, this reboot, it appears he's not going to be in every episode because he's on the retired track, and that's fine as the story goes along. That's going to bug me because he's one of the best. He's one of my favorite characters of any show ever.
And he's apparently going to be like recurring, almost like Kelso was when he retired, but kept stopping by the hospital and eating his muffins.
Yeah.
Dr. Cox and John C. McGinley, great performances, Dr. Cox.
Listen, Tiffany, he might be one of the greatest characters ever. Just the litany of cynical insults toward JD was great.
Yeah.
Everything about the character was funny. And the fact that he was pretty good at what he did, too. Like
and the show made the point in one episode that he was basically Dr. House before the TV show House.
I've seen 0 minutes of House.
Oh, you should watch House. It's a lot of fun.
Well, so we'll put that on the list. After I'm done with Sons of Anarchy, maybe I need another thing. Maybe it'll be
But
House.
not in the same way that you're on the list, Brian Black.
No. Or sports scheduling people.
Or whatever he said.
Allegheny sounds like something out of Wicked, but you haven't seen Wicked yet, so
I
can't yell about that yet.
So probably no surprise where I'm going with my number one since Perry Cox is off the board. I am going with a great surgeon and a great dancer, Dr. Turk.
Oh, you're going Turk. Okay, that's fine.
I'm going Chris Turk.
Turk didn't make my list at all, so that's good.
Him dancing to Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe is like an all-timer clip for me. If I'm ever like sad, you can just play that clip for me and I'll be like, okay, things are.
I'll have to write that down. Tim likes the Turk dance. No, that he didn't make my list only because he's one of the two main guys, and I think he's too close to JD, and that just irritates me. Where we are now I think we're in season 5. He's still funny. He doesn't lose it throughout. And you know what? I don't think I hated him in the reboot. He wasn't awful, which is good considering that both these guys are significantly older.
Yeah, I liked what they gave him to play in the first 2 episodes, where it was in episode 1, it's that he's burnt out with medicine because, he's in his 50s and he's like, well, I'm just, doing surgery on these people so they can die at a later date. That's like fatigue like that is a very real issue. And then, in the second episode where it kind of steered into what you didn't like with the JD Elliott divorce. And Elliot being like, Turk, like, I met you at the same time as him. Like, you're my friend, too. Like, I thought they were both pretty good stories for Turk.
No, you're not, Elliot. Go away. Just saying. All right. My number 2, really, I was worried you might take him number 1 because he is another just tremendous character. I don't know if we ever found out his name in season 9, but I'm going to take the janitor.
The janitor's definitely on my list. And he is apparently coming back for this.
Yeah, but he wasn't in episode 1 or 2. So another part of my irritation, that's my 2 favorite characters. One didn't show up, and one is going to be a bounce recurring thing. So,
well, maybe episode 3 will just be Dr. Cox and the janitor hanging out.
Just back and forth, yelling at each other and making fun of each other. That'd be cool. Now, as we rewatch the series, the rivalry that he created and just some of the weird stunts that he pulls, they amuse me.
I'm trying to think what my favorite bit with the janitor was. I'd have to think about that. He is very funny, and a lot of it was just like the show saying, like Neil Flynn, it's a lot of ad lib or a lot of improv by Neil Flynn.
That's even better. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like a lot of times in the script, Bill Lawrence, the creator, would just write Neil does something funny.
Here, you don't like this guy. Go with it. That's great. Yeah. That's great.
My number 2 pick, I'm going to go back to the main core of characters. I have always had a soft spot for Elliot Reed.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I don't like JD so much that I'm very much siding with Elliot. And just like all the parts of the character, just like the crippling insecurity. And,
Yeah.
She is very funny, but also like feels like a real person.
Yeah. She was on my list. She was down on the list, but what I like, she is good enough to get there, but not good enough to be like, somehow she's the chief of medicine, or she was like one of the chief residents with JD, co-chief. And I thought to myself, like, she's the worker who has to go home and study for like 10 hours. But then when she gets this boy, is it Jake, her boyfriend, that is like the animal guy, or like hangs out with the dolphins? Then she starts to struggle. It reminds me of me a little bit, where like I'm trying to teach these 2 new classes and I've got to stay on top of it. But if I take a nap on a Saturday, then Monday is really going to suck because I didn't work on the weekends. I have a soft spot for her too. I'm with you.
She's a very specific kind of person who like knows as much as everyone else, but won't allow herself to realize she knows it until she like overstudies to the point of obsession.
Yeah. Good call there. And she's a very pretty actress too. Sarah Chalk, by the way. My number 3 is as I bump my computer here. He is not good at his job, but he's really funny about sucking at it, and he's a tremendous singer. I'm gonna go with Ted Backlund, the full name, the inept lawyer, because he's such a sap, and when he gets it, you feel bad for him.
Yeah,
he's been beaten down by Kelso and by life.
Yeah, and also R.I.P. to the actor Sam Lloyd. Unfortunately, died a couple of years ago. Really popular character actor, was in a lot of things. And you're right, like him with his the quartet. They
were a real thing.
That was written into the show because Bill Lawrence again was like, wait, you have a quartet, and what do you sing?
Barbershop?
And that was extra funny to me because my dad sang barbershop. Like he did competitions when we lived in New Jersey. So seeing this like sad sack who was in a barbershop quartet.
Hold up for a minute. Your dad sang in a barbershop quartet?
Absolutely, he did.
That's amazing.
Every summer, that would be our like summer vacation. They would go to like whatever, like Asbury Park, sing in a competition. Yeah, like wherever along like the Jersey Shore.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's an aspect of Greg Hare I didn't know.
Yeah,
so Bob Gemelli did like summer stock type stuff, like with the Bob Sago Productions. He was in theater that you'd like look at. Yeah. There's no way Jake was he played in musicals. No. And here's Greg Hare singing. That's legitimately new to me. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Off camera, I'll share a couple songs that I half remember from being dragged to barbershop quartet competitions.
Oh, okay, that's good stuff. I look forward to that.
So
who's your 3?
My 3, I'm going to go with the aforementioned the Todd.
Oh yeah, he was my next guy, and because I'm going to watch with this guy.
I aged to 12 years old, and then in a lot of ways I never stopped being a 12-year-old. And a juvenile sex joke, which Todd is just a walking juvenile sex joke, is always going to be funny to me.
Every time.
Yeah.
And the fact that, what's amazing is early on, like seasons 1, 2, wherever we were, he was the best surgeon of the group.
Yeah.
So like, not only was he could get the job done. So like, get the job done 5.
Yeah, and then like in the later seasons, they could do like variations on the idea of him being like this bro-y like player, where like maybe the Todd joke that makes me laugh the most is when they revealed that like he was a little kid who loved musical theater and his dad was like a womanizer. And he's like, Dad, but you have to take me to my audition for Annie. And his dad's like, not now. And like you see his dad with his arm around a woman. And it cuts back to the Todd and he's like, It really is a hard knock life.
Oh, we haven't gotten there, but that's he. Where we are in the reboot, the personal growth thing. Now that you think about it, like I wonder how antagonistic those two characters are going to be with each other. If they're going to, I don't want them to rein the Todd in. That if they do, I will continue to. The writers might make the list.
I think it'll be funny to see him continue to struggle to rein it in the way he did in episode 2.
Okay, now we shall see. Or not my number 4. I'm gonna take a character. She grew on me because I like the actress. I like her in the other stuff she's done on ABC. Like she's on like 7 different shows, and she plays the same character, angry bitchy lady. I'm gonna take Jordan.
Oh,
because
sure.
for as angry as she is and how mean she is with Cox, they're so perfect for each other, and I like their on-screen chemistry works for me. I dig her as a character,
and she's the creator's wife.
There you go.
Actor. Yeah,
she's on a ton of ABC stuff. Like she was on Cougar Town. She's in. What's the new one Jen and I are watching? Is she in Shrinking?
She's in Shrinking, which is also created by Bill Lawrence.
Same character though. Just he's like, okay, just go be Jordan when we're doing this read. Okay, I can do that. I'm sure Kristen Newton is a wonderful young lady. She's probably a very nice person, but she is an absolute menace on screen.
And I like the way that she's introduced into the show, where
with Ted.
Well, with
JD, they're JD Ted, they're the same person in my head. Yeah, she hooks up with JD, and Perry's like.
So I have a couple ways I can go with my number 4. I'm gonna go with a character who isn't necessarily recurring. She doesn't show up throughout the show, but she has an arc. I believe it's in season 4 where she's there for a time. Played by Heather Graham, Dr. Molly Clark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's great.
She's like this sort of like pseudo hippie weirdo.
Not pseudo, and she's straight up hippie weirdo.
Yeah, but also like a really good psychologist.
And she is the perfect. If we were putting a Survivor Series team together, while I teamed up Perry and his not wife, putting Elliot with Molly is a good move.
Yeah,
because they had good screen chemistry. They worked well together.
Yeah, and I like the episode where JD's basically trying to hook up with Dr. Molly, and Elliot prevents it in a hilarious way. Did you get to that episode?
Oh yeah.
With the note.
We probably watched it like a month ago, and it's out.
So like JD, like
you're not going to spoil it.
Where JD's like, you'll never be able to get even with me. I broke up with you, and Elliot's like,
yeah.
Whatever. And she writes a note that says, "Now we're even," but he doesn't know what the note says, and he gives it to Molly. And Molly's like, "I think this is for you."
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Like the punchline at the end of the episode that Elliot got even by keeping him from having sex with the lovely Heather Graham.
That was good for her because again, screw JD.
Cold-blooded.
My you know what? My number 5, there's a couple of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 5, a couple on the list, and I feel bad that he wasn't picked. Absolutely one of the worst human beings. But when he retires and gets his muffins, Bob Kelso is as funny as it gets, and I will take Bob Kelso to round out my list for when he retires and he just continues to come back and just poke at people, because then he's a happier guy when he's retired.
Yeah, and I like the weird little, like his relationship with his unseen wife, and just the little character quirks that they paint around the edges with Dr. Kelso. The antagonistic relationship with Dr. Cox, but the antagonistic relationship with everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
And his I like the actor. I don't know who the actor's name is, but his facial expression is always
I think it's Ken Jenkins.
Grumpy old man.
Not Jennings, like Ken Jenkins.
So who is the Bob Kelso actor played by Ken Jenkins? Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Smarty Pants. My number 5, and he's someone who came up in one of the first 2 episodes, and really all that we know about him is he's still crazy. I like Hooch.
Hooch! Yeah!
I had to get Hooch on my list.
There you go.
There's not much to say about him except that he is crazy.
And they tried to team him with Turner early, but then they
and
broke up
Hooch
Turner.
did not like it. He did not like those changes to his schedule.
I wouldn't either, so I'm with him.
And honestly, I'm on Hooch's side because if I had to work with JD
and
he was messing with my work schedule and therefore messing with my personal life,
yeah,
I'd be murdered as well.
How could you not be?
I just want to punch him in that stupid. Oh, you want me to buy T-Mobile, JD?
No. Yeah, JD just made the list. The other guys I had on my list, I had some Randall, who's the short lackey with the janitor. He's funny.
He was on my list.
Dr. Murphy, who's one of the worst doctors ever, actually finds his calling in the morgue. Like he's a good mortician type person.
Yeah.
And then the character that Tara Reid plays, Danny Sullivan, when she shows up and she messes with JD, that's okay to me.
Yeah, I like the episode where they get JD inadvertently says like, "Oh, it could be SARS," and they have to go into quarantine. Yeah. And Tara Reid just walks by and goes, "Who wants quarantinis?"
That's a very, very on brand for both the actress and the character. So there we go. Good. Right. It's a good draft. I have hopes that the show gets better. I will continue to watch it, but I mean, like, this is a show where, like, we're watching it at night, like before school, or Jen wanted to watch a couple episodes last night. I will fall asleep during the show, so I will miss things, and I'm okay with that. We'll see how much of the new show. I will try not to fall asleep during the new show, at least.
That's how I am with some of these rewatches of old shows, where it's background noise. It's something to fall asleep to, or it's just something you have on in the background while I'm cooking or whatever.
Here we go, top 5 time. So you sent this out to me, and it's like we had talked about this before, but I don't remember. So what's our top 5 going to be?
I can't remember why I thought of this, but I was like, I think we've done our best sports movies.
Probably.
What about our 5 worst sports movies?
Yeah. And this, believe it or not, was hard for me.
It was hard for me too. And I have a few on my list that maybe would be surprising. But I have personal reasons. I have beef with these movies.
We have beef. We have beef. So I'll tell you what. I drafted first. So let's hear it from you.
Well, my number 1, it's a part of Soup and Meatballs lore, because the first time we really hung out was when we went to see Rocky V.
Rocky V is number 1 on my list.
Yep. We were the only people in the theater watching it Mystery Science Theater or Mystery Science Theater 3000 style.
Yeah.
And even at the age of like 11.
They have 4 characters. We had 2. There's more people at those movies.
11 or 12 or however old I was, where I was like, hey man, like you understand this is bad, right? And you were like, yeah, I was gonna say that. Like we both, even in our like undeveloped brains, were like, this is terrible.
And here's the thing. I wish I knew the order of the Rocky movies that I watched, because I didn't see Rocky 1, 2, or 3. But I saw 4 first, but I don't know if I saw 4 before 5. I think I did. I legit don't know.
I saw 4 first.
I had to have.
On TV. I had to have.
Okay.
And I just assumed it was like this big, almost like the Rambo movies, like this big, ridiculous, because that's how 4 is played. And then 5 was terrible, and then when I found out Rocky 1 won the Oscar for Best Picture, and I was like, wait, what? And so then it was like shocking to me to go back and see Rocky 1, and it's like a real, like bare bones, like underdog story, and you're like, oh, I can see why this spawned at that point 5 movies.
Now you see if you're like me now, I'm pretty sure I saw 4 and then 1. 4 visually and music wise is so different from 1. 1 felt like an Oscar-winning movie because it's that style, where 4 looked like it was geared towards 12-year-old me.
4 is very much a product of the MTV era, where it feels half of that movie is music montages. It feels, and
they're great music montages. They're the last one, the song "War," when they have the punch and it just stop motions into the next one. Oh, that's awesome stuff.
I'd be curious. There might be less dialogue in Rocky IV than there is in like 2001: A Space Odyssey, which doesn't have dialogue for the first like 35 minutes of the movie. It's just monkeys discovering weapons. Like Rocky IV is just it's just songs, it's training montages, and then it's just grunting while they punch each other.
Yeah. Okay. Let's time out here for a second, because we're now getting away from bad. We're talking about cool stuff.
Yeah.
Rocky V. Get back to that.
Yeah. Rocky
How
V.
awful Tommy Gunn is as a character. Tommy freaking Gunn. Come on.
And Tommy Gunn's manager, just call him Don King.
The obvious reference to Don King, and it was played by the same actor who's the lawyer in Seinfeld. Was it? No. I got to look that up because they feel the same to me. Rocky V. Was it Richard Gant who played? Was that the guy I'm thinking about?
I can't imagine.
He was the manager.
I can't imagine he played Jackie Childs on Seinfeld.
Who was Jackie Childs? That was Phil Morris. Okay. So the mustache and glasses got me. Everything about that relationship, the Don King thing.
Yeah, Rocky's relationship with his son, just it's wild that Rocky IV, for as ridiculous as it was, that everyone was like, all right, they go to see Rocky V and they're like, oh no, this is what a bad movie looks like. Yeah.
So I mean that's one for both of us. Amazing. What's your, I didn't rank mine. I just threw a bunch of them down. But that was the first one I wrote down.
I'm going to go with one that's going to maybe surprise you, because a lot of people really love this movie. And to me, it's such a swindle. Rudy is so patently untrue. Like, yes, he did get a sack against Georgia Tech in the last game of the season. But if you've heard guys from that Notre Dame team, like Joe Montana has talked about.
Joe Montana rips him, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, no, we were like, no, put him in like as a joke. Yeah. like Rudy is purely fiction.
As far as sports movies go, I mean, I don't.
And it's also Notre Dame porn.
Yeah, it's Notre Dame. That's what would get me more.
It's like anything. A recruiting video for Notre Dame.
I appreciate the underdogness of Rudy. I think the speech given by the custodial guy, you're 150 nothing pounds and 5 foot nothing, and I was a running back here, and that's an attempt to be like Rocky, like his Mickey, I guess. When his dad shows up in the stands, that part at least gets me. Like, you know what? His dad got to see him. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But as far as movies go, that scene is cool for me. The fact that all his family at home and his friends, the people that work in the plant, like, oh, you're nothing. You're never going to be anything. And the fact that he says, no, I made it. I like that part of it. But as far as sports movies go, no. If I don't never see it again, I'm fine.
Toward the end of the movie, they're at practice and Rudy makes a tackle on the one halfback played by a very young Vince Vaughn who gets mad at him.
Was that Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And but Vince Vaughn and John Favreau are in that movie, Pre-Swingers.
John Favreau, I know, is.
But Vince Vaughn plays the halfback who's like, this animal's out here playing like it's the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. And all I could think was, get him, Vince Vaughn. Get him. Throw a punch, Trent.
You're all grown up when you're grown up. No, just for that, Rudy can't be on the list.
I'm going to make Rudy's head bleed for superfan number 99 over here.
Anything Vince Vaughn does is good in my book. So yeah, that's hot take number 2 there for Soup Man. My number 2 is, I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I think it's I've rewatched a lot of football movies, and believe it or not, like the program, it doesn't. What's the phrase?
Not good.
It doesn't hold up, but it's still to me better than Any Given Sunday, which is just like I will rewatch the program and for the football stuff, like the musical montage of Welcome to the Jungle. If that doesn't get you pumped, like I'm 76 years old, I'll still try to run through a wall for Coach Patron if I listen to that and I watch that. But Any Given Sunday, I like Al Pacino as the devil, but he's a terrible football coach. The whole the Jamie Foxx as a quarterback, and him it doesn't do it for me.
It's just too.
And it's Cameron Diaz in that movie too.
Yeah, she's like the team owner.
Oh, that's terrible. No, and like her and the coach hate each other or something. It's
it's just too like over the top.
And I haven't seen it in long enough that I can't really speak intelligently about it, but I don't want to see it again.
Doesn't the character get his eyeball ripped out? Am I
don't know. Sure.
Am I misremembering this? I feel like the character on field gets his eyeball ripped out.
Let's my Google searches today. Any Given Sunday player eye ripped out. So Operation Sports Forums, I was particularly shaken by the scene in the final game where the one guy in the Dallas Knights loses his eyeball. If you saw it, you'd know what I mean. Yeah, I don't need that.
And the fact that you had to be like, wait, just tells you how unmemorable this movie is, that a player having his eye ripped out is like.
But it was also like the football in it was filmed in such a way that was like, it was like watching Cloverfield. Like you need Dramamine to watch it.
Yeah,
all the spins and the ins and outs. Oh, it was terrible. Do you remember, off the record, there was an ESPN series about football? I'm going to look, because now I need to, ESPN football series, like drama, Playmakers. Do you remember the show Playmakers?
Barely.
Because they did the same kind of thing with the cameras in and outs, but the story in Playmakers so much better. Like I liked Playmakers. That was a good show. I could get past the camera stuff, but the camera stuff in Any Given Sunday was nausea-inducing.
Yeah,
it was a bad movie. Period.
I saw it when it came out. What was that? 99. I want to say Any Given Sunday. I've never felt the need to go back to it. Truly.
True garbage. True garbage.
My next one, I was made to watch this recently too. I did not see it when it came out. Angels in the Outfield.
Who forced you to watch this?
Oh, I'm not even going to name names.
Ooh. I've seen it, and it didn't make my list. But I think I saw it like at a TBS, and I think I've seen like 8 scenes of it. Like and I fell asleep, or I don't know why I watched it.
Just like at the end when Tony Danza plays like a pitcher who's dying of cancer. By the way, can we just throw that out there?
Okay, I don't remember this part, so.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. That like Christopher Lloyd as the Angel's like he's going to be with us in a couple months, and it's like
okay,
because like he smokes and he chews, and they're like, oh yeah, he's just got cancer from his ankles to his eyeballs. This guy's gonna die. So Tony Danza, poor cancer-ridden Tony Danza, is this like 40-year-old pitcher who goes out for the decisive game, and he throws like 165 pitches.
Of course he does.
In a movie with angels that intervene on behalf of a baseball team, That is the most improbable thing in the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Just terrible, terrible stuff all the way around. Danny Glover's involved somehow. Like he drives the kids.
Yeah, I remember Danny Glover.
Yeah, just
no.
just a bunch of poop flung at a wall. See what sticks.
And I will see your Angels in the outfield, and I will raise you my awful baseball movie, Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's on my list.
Where this this kid, I guess, breaks his arm, and then it heals in a funky way, and he can throw like 90 miles an hour, and now he's on the Cubs. And the only reason this movie makes my list is for one line in the movie, and I'm sure you know what it is.
I'm not going to say it.
This stupid kid bouncing around yelling, "Pitcher's got a big..." Oh, shut up, kid. Like, honestly, why couldn't Clue Hayward be on this team and just kick you in the face? There, I said it.
Why, yeah. This was, he's like 12 years old. Why doesn't any of these
I thought he was younger than that, but like, sure.
Even if he doesn't even if he doesn't plunk a batter, why doesn't someone just charge the mound? You're a grown man. Just beat the hell out of this kid. Get him out of there. And not even for the sake of the game, for the sake of the movie.
Seriously. Yeah.
That kid grew up to engage in sexual hijinks with the aforementioned Tara Reid in American Pie.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Who is this? Oh my!
Full circle. Who's the kid from Rookie of the Year?
There it is. Yeah,
Thomas Ian Nichols.
Thomas Nicholas. Oh God, his Wikipedia page. He looks like a homeless man.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible human being.
Well,
terrible
I don't know
if
if he's a terrible human being, but
he played in the movie. He could have turned it down and said sorry.
I refuse to comment on that pitcher's butt.
Yeah.
Big or otherwise. Also, it's advantageous for a pitcher to have a big butt because it means you have big thighs, probably. Like
there you
drive
go.
off the mound, like Tom Seaver. Thighs like a
like David Wells. he probably had a large posterior.
Oh, almost certainly.
He had a large everything.
Yeah.
So,
was
that on your list too?
It sure was.
Oh, nice. You got one more then.
My last one is going to be, there are worse movies on my list, but if we're talking about pure disappointment, where this is a movie where I was so excited. Oh, they made a sequel to Major League? Yeah. Major League 2 was such a disappointment.
Yeah. So Major League 2 didn't make my list. The honorable mention was the Back to the Minors version of Major League.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that one.
I was going to say there are worse movies in the franchise where, but Major League 2, for as funny as the first one was, and as excited as I was to see Major League 2 in theaters, and then I was like 13 years old, and I just sat there the whole time, and I was like, well, now I know what disappointment is. Thanks, adult.
Major League had some of the most quotable lines. It's still funny. It holds up today. Major League 2 had none of that. It had Darnell Jefferson in center field because Wesley Snipes was smart.
Yeah, why recast Willie Mays Hayes? Why not just say, oh, like we lost him in free agency?
Free agency, yeah. Just the fact that what was Corbin Burnsen's character? The Dorn. Dorn was the owner, or was he like a GM?
Yeah.
And then he comes back to play because of course he does.
Of course. And Jake's the manager.
Sure. That part at least makes sense. Old catcher, but the old catcher in Bull Durham starts off in the minor leagues in Peoria, where old catchers would start. They wouldn't start in Cleveland. And
Serrano coming back is like now he's like a Zen Buddhist.
He's a Buddhist or something. They did all kinds of stupid stuff, and they brought in Parkman, who I think made my team when we were drafting, fictitious baseball players, or was I think Parkman might have been on your team because he's the clubhouse killer. He looked like you would look in the early '90s with the mirrored sunglasses, and the White Sox were a big team back then, so the White Sox were the foil of the Indians that year. Yeah, that was.
But to even just find out that like after the great ending to Major League, and then it's like, oh, and then they went on to lose in the ALCS. They didn't even get to the World Series. It really
Awful.
does kind of undercut the ending to the first movie.
I can hear you. I can look at you. I just prefer to pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, for
back to the minors
conversation, it exists and it's on my list.
It's on your list. Yeah, Back to the Minors made my list as an honorable mention. So I have two left here, and one I've seen them both. One I think I didn't see all the way through, so I can't tell you all about it. So I'll start with the one I saw. Back in the late 80s, when you heard Hulk Hogan was going to be in a movie, you were like, this is going to be awesome. It's a wrestling movie? What? No Holds Barred is terrible.
And
there is nothing redeemingly good about it.
Zeus was like built up as like the scariest guy on the planet.
Oh, dude, he's like these underground fight clubs punching through cinder blocks. Like, I'm sorry, Rip. If it's a real shoot fight, Zeus is killing you. And you got up to like the top tower or something, and you had to run at him to knock him down like a cartoon villain, like he's the Green Goblin. Like it was so terrible.
Was it No Holds Barred that gave us the line Dookie?
Dookie, yep.
Is that?
I think it was that Kevin Bacon? Was that Kevin Bacon? I think Kevin Bacon was the guy. Now I'm going to look this up. No Holds Barred Dookie. Who says that? Dookie quote. Come on now. Come on, producer. Who plays the... Oh, you're going to make me... So, who plays limo driver in No Holds Barred? Okay. The limo portrayed by former professional wrestler Pete Doherty. But I'm going to pull this up here. Let's see if I can get this picture. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. This is so bad on all accounts. Let's do the share screen thing just so everybody can see this. This is where I got Kevin Bacon. Do you see this? This guy?
Oh, it's really small, but
Do you see it a little bit though?
a little bit.
He looks a little bit like Kevin Bacon to me, but he is former professional wrestler, whatever. That movie is awful. They tried to make Hulk Hogan a romantic lead in this, and like they tried to make him a leading man. He's a terrible actor. The best part of the movie was like the bad guy, the TV producer, the TV executive. He plays a lot of bad guys. He does it well, but he can't save this movie. Awful. And as a kid, like I didn't like it as a kid.
Yeah,
Like it was geared to me. Well, and I thought to myself, man, this is brutal.
WWF, at the time, WWF was promoting that so hard on all its programs, like Monday Night Wrestling.
The stuff that they showed though was like Zeus punching through a cinder block and like breaking this guy's head with his hand. Like that was cool to a 12-year-old who was a professional wrestling fan.
It feels like a movie that was written by 10-year-olds, but it was written by like 10-year-olds who were in like self-contained rooms, and they each wrote like 30 minutes each, and then they just sewed their scripts together like a Frankenstein's monster.
Ugh, terrible. And then the other movie that I really can't talk about that I really shouldn't want to is another wrestling movie, with the one with David Arquette, Ready to Rumble. And what I hated about this was this actually led WCW to giving David Arquette the world's heavyweight championship. Like he is in the record books as a former world heavyweight champion based on this movie. I think that in and of itself makes it terrible to me.
I barely remembered that movie until you mentioned it, and I don't even think I realized that they gave him the title. Yeah.
That back in the NWO days. So hold on, David Arquette, heavyweight champion, 2 2000, April 2000.
How long
And
was
it was
the
a-
reign?
12 days. 12 days. So, like, Kurt Hennig, Ted DiBiase was a heavyweight champion. I'm claiming that, but like really good wrestlers never held a heavyweight championship. But David Arquette did.
Yeah, Rick Rude didn't.
Rick Rude did in WCW.
Oh, okay.
He
See,
was
I
a
didn't
heavyweight
know
champion over there. So but I don't think Hennig did. Hennig was like an IC title at best. I'm trying to think of other good workers who, they deserve to run. Like Jake Roberts would have been a really, really good heel for like somebody like Hogan to chase. But no. But David Arquette. So there's our list. The top 5 worst sports movies ever. I'll tell you what, man. I don't have a ton for Mr. Smarty Pants, but I did want to try something with you if you're amenable.
I am amenable.
So as far as Mr. Smarty Pants goes, there's a game called Outsmarted.
Okay.
I guess you can see it, that my daughter loves, and it comes with trivia questions. It's Trivial Pursuit, essentially. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, I got to get into the game here. Yeah. Go through, and we'll add some players here. We can't. I can't be her. So final step. So the questions they have, it's just like Trivial Pursuit, but I'm going to go through some of the sports ones for you.
Okay.
Because they're tough. I accidentally put my niece in. So the one good thing about the game is it'll scaffold the questions. So Claire is in as a teenager, but Derek and I are in as adults. So it's my turn first. So we will give you a sports and leisure question. It's worth 100 points. Are you ready?
I am ready.
What sport is known as the sport of kings? Tennis, boxing, golf, or horse racing?
Horse racing.
Horse racing. And you are correct. So you have a minute and 22 seconds. I dropped my phone. You have a minute and 22 seconds on the clock here. So like that's your thing.
Okay.
We'll give you another sports question. This one's worth 200 points. Game on. Which sport uses stroking and cranking as its 2 main types of delivery? Stroking and cranking. Is it bowling, darts, archery, or cricket?
I'll say cricket.
We are 12-year-old children. Cricket, I think I would have guessed archery, but it's bowling. In bowling, you stroke and crank. That's why you get pains in your
Maybe the way you bowl.
Okay, so it's Derek's turn. I'll give you a choice. You could do sports, sound and music, pub quiz, breaking news, back to school, or lifestyle and culture.
I'll do lifestyle and culture.
I'm going to give you a ring question, so these are generally tougher. It's worth 500 points, unless it's put these in order. Sometimes they make you do that. It's a pain. Okay, so don't get left behind. Which 3 countries primarily drive on the left side? And they give you a choice. The U.S. So you say yes or no. Drive on the left side. U.S.
No.
Germany. And you can say maybe because there's eight here.
Maybe.
So there's maybe. So the U.K.
Yes.
Japan.
Yes.
Australia.
Maybe.
Italy.
No.
Canada.
No.
France.
I don't believe so.
So now you have 4. You have to kill one of them. Germany, UK, Japan, or Australia. One of them you have to get rid of because there's only 3.
Germany.
You're going to get rid of Germany. So you're going to go with the UK, Japan, and Australia as the 3 countries that primarily drive on the left.
Yes.
Let's lock it in. You got them all right. Look at you. Look at you. That's going to be the question portion. Like, I could sit here and play outsmarted with you all day, and you just kill me. But as far as your list goes, I saw a video that was talking about the all-time leading rushers and in terms of touchdowns and whether or not certain people could break the list and whatever. And I thought to myself, I wonder if Tim could tell me current players who is the top 10 in the stat of current rushing touchdowns.
So active players
with
the most rushing touchdowns.
That is correct. So who can you give me? Well, I have 1 through 10 listed here.
Okay. So right away, I think Derrick Henry, Saquon, and McCaffrey.
Derrick Henry is number 1. Saquon is number 11. So he is not on the list. But CMC is number 6. So he is on the list.
Okay.
Saquon is 4 touchdowns behind number 10.
What about what's his name from the Colts? Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor is number 4.
What about? I'm trying to think of like old guys who are still active.
So playing.
You don't realize they're on a roster. Like Ezekiel Elliott's not hanging on somewhere.
No. And Ezekiel Elliott, I have a screenshot of the top 14. Zeke is not in the top 14. And whether he's even playing. So Zeke Elliott. What happened with him? No. Oh, so Pro Football Reference has to make sure that I'm not a robot. Give me a second. It's successful. Yay. He was on a roster with the Cowboys in 2024, but 2025, nothing. So not considered active.
How about
all-time touchdowns at 74? Would have put him on the list, though, if he was active.
How about Josh Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs is number 3. Got 74 touchdowns. He would have been tied with Zeke Elliott.
Huh. How about...
It's a good segue. I like how that worked out.
How about Jahmyr Gibbs?
Jahmyr Gibbs not on the list. Gibbs would be 16. I just pulled up the actual list.
How many touchdowns did number 10 have?
The player at the number 10 spot has 59 touchdowns.
Okay, because I was trying to think like it's not someone like Jalen Hurts, but he doesn't have nearly like with the tush-push touchdowns and everything. It's not Jalen Hurts, is it?
Can I tell you a secret? Jalen Hurts is actually number 5.
Oh wow! Okay.
With 63 tush-push touchdowns. So
I didn't know that he was quite that high. Like I thought he might be in the 40s.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about someone like Josh Allen?
Josh Allen is number 2.
Okay. So
those are the tricky ones.
Yeah. So how many do I have left?
You have gotten 1, 6, 4, 3, 2, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 7, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10.
This is an impressive run.
Yeah, I'm happy that I got the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well,
And so the three of these guys, they all came in 2017. So like they're on the older end. And then number 10, he came in 2019. Three of them have played for multiple teams. One of them is still with this, has been with the same team his whole time. I don't know if they have cool nicknames. I bet you they do. This guy doesn't. This guy doesn't. This guy doesn't.
no one named Biscuit
And,
Pants.
The number 10 guy's page is still loading right now, so maybe. Oh, okay. So the number 10 guy is nicknamed Knuckles. I'm sure that doesn't help you at all. It wouldn't help me. And this guy played for one of my teams.
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery is named Knuckles. Sure.
Yeah, because it's Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah, I did know that actually.
No, you didn't.
No, I really did. I think Jameer Gibbs is Sonic because of his speed, and David Montgomery's Knuckles because it's like a thunder and lightning thing.
Okay. I'm going to look up Jameer Gibbs here for a second and see if he's actually listed as Sonic. Well, while you pontificate numbers 7, 8, and 9. All right, he's called Sonic. You're soon.
How about oh my God, I can't think of his name. And he played for the Eagles. And he's in Chicago now. And he played at St. Joe's Prep. In high school, I mean.
Obviously. Whoever that is, it's going to be a no.
Okay.
We'll figure that out.
DeAndre Swift is who I was thinking.
It was DeAndre Swift. He comes in at 17.
That's my old man brain, where I'm like, I can see his Georgia uniform except for the last name. I'm gonna call. Who are the other three?
So one of the guys, the 2017 guy, went to Alabama, was drafted in. Was he a first-round draft pick? He was not. He was a third-round draft pick. Third-round draft pick. Nope. Right division. Wrong team. Down on the Bayou.
Oh, Kamara.
Alvin Kamara was number 7. This guy was actually born in Erie. Went to Pittsburgh. Was drafted by the Steelers and made his way to the Cardinals. He's also a pretty good tennis player back in the day.
Oh, I don't think I know that one.
Jimmy Connors, James Conner.
Oh, you saying tennis threw me. Yeah.
A little bit. James Conner was a tennis player. And then this guy was with Cincinnati for the longest time. I guess he just picked up with Houston last year. It's Joe Mixon.
Oh, Joe Mixon.
Mixon and Connor both tied with 60. Kamara has 61. So the video that I watched referenced whether or not Lamar Jackson could break or was it Josh Allen? Were they going to eventually break the all-time leading career rushing touchdown record of Emmitt Smith? And I looked, I'm like, Emmitt Smith has 164 touchdowns. Josh Allen has 79. He's not even halfway there. Stop.
Yeah.
But
because then, like, each year over 30, like, what's the exponential fall off going to be?
But I mean, the rushing touchdowns per game average, I think they said Josh Allen's was like 0.68. So that's a little less than 1 a game. But you're telling me he's got 80 or 90 more games in him? I don't know.
Yeah.
At that success rate still.
Well,
Goofy stuff.
I have a list for you.
Oh, no. Oh, well, let's get it ready.
All right. This week, DeMar DeRozan jumped into the top 20 all-time scorers in NBA history.
Oh, nobody even knows who that guy is.
Would you like to rattle off who the other 19 are in the top
No.
20?
And we followed along with some of the guys on the list. So James Harden, Kevin Durant, because we followed them.
Yep, and yep.
LeBron,
Yep,
past Kareem,
yep.
and then here's where I get shaky. Karl Malone is up there.
He's third.
Michael Jordan, I think, is 6.
He's 5 at the moment,
Or he's 5.
but he'll be passed by KD.
Yeah. I forget our KD list. Our the quick hitter PowerPoint that I have. I don't even have it on the list. So let's see who else is probably on the list.
Wilt is 8.
Jerry West.
Jerry West not on the list.
Oh, really? He's not a top 20 scorer?
No.
Holy cow. Dirk.
Dirk is 7.
He's on the list. So of the top 10, who am I missing? 4?
You're missing 4 and 10.
4 and 10. Who do you think? Who did Durant just pass? We were talking about it. Oh my gosh! And then not knowing 4 is almost criminal. Kareem, Karl Malone, LeBron. And somebody watching is like yelling at me right now.
Almost
Sorry.
certain.
Almost certainly. That's why I'm Mr. Noodlehead. Oh my gosh. So where does Dwayne Wade fall in? Is he top 20?
Let's see here. Dwayne Wade is not top 20.
Shaq.
Shaq is 10.
He's 10. Kobe's not 4, but how about Kobe?
Kobe's 4.
Is he really?
Yep.
Wow, I wouldn't have put him that high. So okay, I got 4. You can stop yelling at me.
So you got the whole top 10.
Excellent. How about Charles Barkley?
Not on the list.
Tim Duncan.
Duncan is 18.
He played for a long time. Wow, he's only 18.
He was never an elite scorer. He was always like a 23.4 point. He was more of like a do everything kind of guy. And plus the Spurs shared the wealth.
There you go. Just start throwing out like random names I know that I know are probably not on the list, like Larry Bird,
Not on the list.
Patrick Ewing,
No.
Chris Mullins, as Jordan calls him in The Last Dance.
No, not Chris. Not the pride of St. John's, Chris Mullins.
Mullins. I'm just thinking of Dream Team players now.
I can tell you number 11 had success for your favorite NBA team and also won a national title in his 1 year in college.
Oh, Carmelo. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 12 did not he was one of the first guys to go to the NBA straight from high school, but not with the Garnett era, like way back.
Moses
Moses is number 12.
Moses Malone. Okay.
Number 13 played in what many consider to be the game of the century in college basketball, but not the Duke Kentucky one, like way back in the 60s.
There was another game of the century?
Yeah, every sport has like 8 games of the century.
Wow. Nothing's beating Kentucky Duke. Somebody from the 60s, isn't it? Is it Bob Pettit?
No, I can just tell you. Number 13
Yeah,
is Elvin Hayes.
Elvin Hayes. Yeah, I wasn't going to get Elvin Hayes.
He played for the University of Houston, who beat UCLA to end their big winning streak in 1968, I believe. Number 14, former MVP in the last 20 years. In the last 15 years, he was an MVP.
Iverson?
No, not Iverson, surprisingly. Played at UCLA.
Oh my God, an MVP from UCLA. Yeah, you lost me.
Russell Westbrook.
Okay. Yeah, I don't associate Westbrook with UCLA. I don't know why.
Number 15, not U.S. born.
That's
Played in the Western Conference primarily.
Tony Parker.
No. Two-time MVP.
Oh gosh, I said Dirk already.
You did.
And Wembanyama's not there yet.
The pride of Lagos, Nigeria.
All right, my head just went to like Manute Bol, but it's not Manute Bol. Please tell me it's not him.
It's not Manute Bol. Two-time champion. And he was the driving force on both champions.
Olajuwon?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
So why did I think he was? Why did I think he was mentioned in our list with Kevin Durant? Like he was one of the ones, or maybe Harden was going to pass him. Oh my gosh!
No, I've got him 15 according to NBA Reference.
Okay.
Number 16 played before our lifetimes.
John
first,
Havlicek?
No, but he's 22.
I'll take it.
Played in college for Cincinnati.
Big O.
Big O.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is because he's a double-A scorer in the board game March Madness.
Number 17 was one of the big threats to Jordan for the scoring title several times in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, 80s Jordan is... I'm still playing with He-Mans.
Eastern Conference guy.
For some reason, when I think Jordan, I think Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and John Starks.
This guy was one of the
They were in the 80s.
This guy was one of the great in-game dunkers of all time.
Dominique.
Dominique.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even think of him as a player.
Oh, he was.
He's like an all-star dunker to me. Yeah.
And then number 19 is an active guy. It's not DeMar DeRozan.
Not like Steph Curry.
It's Steph Curry.
Okay, like, he's been around long enough. So, wow.
And then I can tell you for good measure, 21 was Paul Pierce, 22 Havlicek, 23 Garnett, 24 Vince Carter, and 25 Alex English of the Nuggets.
Alex English of the Nuggets. You know what I know about Alex English from the Nuggets? This is more of this March Madness game. So when you play this game, there's like a matrix that, like, if you score a certain amount of points, you're given a letter grade. And then I can actually show you. There's a chart because I'm playing online right now. I get to kill this light. You can see it better. So the chart will tell you, if you're an A scorer or a B scorer, a die roll will tell you how many points you score. So it's like you bookkeep a little bit. I translated this to the NBA. I've been playing I played a lot of scrimmage games with a buddy of mine named Harry. And I said, hey, why don't we try the NBA? I'll just take NBA points per game and I'll put it in the matrix. And who's this guy we're talking about again? Alex English.
Alex English. Was
he one of the Nuggets?
Yeah.
I think because the Nuggets had the highest scoring team of all time. Like they had 3 guys that were double-A scorers, which as far as that board game goes is insane. 1 is a lot. So 3 is like, what are you doing?
'80s Nuggets teams that just wanted to run up and down the floor with like Alex English and Kiki Vandeweghe.
Kiki Vandeweghe. I'll tell you what. I wonder if I can. Nope, it's going to take me a second. I'm still going to do it though, because now I'm interested. I have to get into my Google Drive, so I shall. We have a minute. So I made like a bunch of Syracuse teams. I made a bunch of this. So where's the NBA model? Where is that Nugget team? I lied. They only have one AA, but they have three A's. Dan Issel at center. Kiki Vandeweghe and Alex English averaged 23, 22, 25 points a game. It was the bench that averaged 37. They averaged 126 points per game. Back in the 80s, that's crazy.
That Nuggets team was part of the highest scoring game in NBA history against the Pistons. I believe it was 186-184.
Whoa. And to give you an idea, so like March Madness, to get power ratings. Their power rating is 127. The Bulls team that won 72 games, their power rating is 120.
Okay.
It's just based on score, but it's scoring and defense. So the 96 Bulls, Jordan and the bench were AA scorers, but Pippen was a B. Luke Longley was a D. Ron Harper was an E.
Oh.
And Dennis Rodman is an F. Yeah, Ron Harper only averaged 7.4 points per game.
But he could score. He was like a 20-point per game guy with the Clippers before he came to Chicago.
So the Matrix doesn't calculate what you could score. It's what you did score.
Yeah. And they were, elite defensively between Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan.
Your 86 Celtics, Larry Bird was an A. Kevin McHale's a B. Dennis Johnson and Robert Parrish were both C. Danny Ainge was a D. And your bench was an A. Your the 86 Celtics power rating was 113.
Seems a bit low.
Well, it's actually, you know what? So the Nuggets power rating of 127, not the highest. The highest was the 2002 Lakers, because Shaquille O'Neal and the bench were both AA scorers. Kobe Bryant was an A, and they had an A defense. They came out with a 128.
Wow.
You would have to, if you played through a game, like you'd say, oh, this is what they're simulating. On the college level, the highest one that I saw was 108. That was the 91 UNLV Running Rebels.
The team that didn't win the title, the one that lost Duke in the Final Four.
The 90 Running Rebels come in at 94. That's a good rating, but it's still like maybe slightly above average, because the 92 Duke team is 106. The 93 Kentucky team don't even make the finals. They're 108.
They were
it's all based on your scoring per game. And
I still think in that 93 tournament, North Carolina was maybe the third best team in the tournament, because Michigan and Kentucky were better.
The 93 UNC Tar Heels are power rating 100 as far as March Madness goes.
They had a lot of depth because they had Montross. They had
it's their bench. Their bench is a AA.
Yeah, they had Phelps and Lynch, and
Montross and Lynch were both C scorers as far as starters go. Phelps was an E. He was a distributor, but he averaged 8 points a game. And so the way the metrics work, if you're interested, so if you averaged between 0 and 6.4 points a game, they gave you an F. E was 6.5 to 8.9. D is 9 to 12.9. C is 13 to 16.9. B, and so now you're getting into like the good players. The B score is 17 to 22.5. A is 22.5 up to 26.9. And then if you average 27 points or more, they assign you a AA. And then like the way it works, like you go through the chart. So let's say my team is a B defense and you have an A scorer and your die roll comes out as a 4. Well, the chart says you score 14 points. So you just track the box score. and the way the game works, there's cards that you play that give you pluses on your die rolls, or I could make your guy go down a level, whatever. It's a fun little game. But what I really like about it is the fact that the rule book gives you that matrix, and you just go to Sports Reference and say, all right, let's go to the 2025 Texas Tech team that lost in the regional final. Chance McMillan averaged 14.2 points a game. He's a C. You can make your own team. I think that's really cool about that game.
It sounds kind of fun, actually.
I will. I'll tell you what. I'll send you a video. It's 20 god awful minutes of me talking about this game, and you can judge for yourself whether it's cool or not.
All right.
But what I missed this week, I'm telling you, this week I spent. What did I do? Like a lot of nothing. I came home and I vegged out because my head is like fluffy. Thursday, it was usually a day I started researching for the show. I've started bowling now, so I have to find a new research day.
Yeah,
What's going on in the world?
I feel bad how a little peek behind the curtain, how much prep for this you do and how little I do.
What? Oh, again, I'm Elliot. I need to. You just start talking about the what the random thing I asked you earlier, and you're like, oh yeah, these are the 5 best teams with the NFL salary cap. I'd have no idea.
Ken Jenkins.
And I'm Leroy Jenkins over here. You know who Leroy Jenkins is?
No.
I'm more up on like pop culture stuff. So it stemmed from a video game. So we're all like like you, me, and like 10 other people are part of a party, and we're planning on our attack. And this guy he went against everybody. They said he ran in, got annihilated, but he yelled in, Leroy Jenkins. If you look up Leroy Jenkins on YouTube, it's funny. But that's how I feel. Like I don't know what I'm doing. So don't feel bad.
Well, we can change the name of the show to Soup and Leroy.
Soup and Leroy. No, I don't want to get rid of meatballs. I have some meatballs for breakfast waiting for me upstairs. It's still before noon. It still counts as breakfast. I was at Mario's last night, and I told one of the staff members there, I said, I saw this video. You guys got to do this. It's called the Italian ice cream cone. Get this. They get like a hoagie roll, but you empty it out, like all of the innards. Jen likes that part of the bread. You could sell that to her. But now you have a cone where they stuffed like 3 meatballs, like their ice cream.
Yeah.
And they topped it with cheese, and then they sprinkled the Parmesan cheese on top of it like it was sprinkles. I said it's basically a meatball sub, but you wrap it like it's an ice cream cone. And he's like, yeah, well, we could do like a cone. We could probably make a cone like we make a bread ball. I'm like, dude, there you go. So you should absolutely start selling Italian ice cream cones and market them, like, because who wouldn't want to show up for one of those? And all it is, it's a meatball sub, but it's cool looking.
Yeah, it's a twist on the meatball sub.
Yeah, but this is the stuff I see on TikTok, man.
I need to expand my horizons on TikTok. I just watch like chef reactions, and
that guy's good.
Yeah.
Now the stuff I'm getting lately though is it's a lot of like commercial, like TikTok store stuff. I'm tired of that.
Yeah, well, we don't get too political, but I've been wary about TikTok spying on me.
Well, you just put your finger over the thing. Here's my buddy Jared Bendis, professor of game design. He does a lot of videos. Oh, see, and see, I get this. Who doesn't want to watch scenes from The Godfather? He didn't expect to be invited to the wedding.
I just rewatched The Godfather last Saturday. R.I.P.
On the wedding day of your daughter. Who's that scary man?
A masculine child.
Yeah. So that, but see, here's the one thing that gets me. Back in May of 2023, I saw this video, and it's talking about a rule that Major League Baseball was instituting about, like, I guess during the playing of the national anthem, everybody was out on the foul line, and both teams would have a contest to see who could stay out there the longest, and be like one guy, and they'd be like playing chicken, who to go in. And the video said something about I gotta scratch my ear. The video was talking about that MLB was complaining about this because it took minutes off the game. And my comment was, "Oh no, .. not minutes." And it gets random likes. It's got 14,400 likes. But then every time somebody sees it and they like it, I get a notification. And I hate the little red number.
Me too.
I hate those. So I've got to go in and check, like, that comment. And then there's another guy, some youngster, doesn't know. This guy really doesn't know anything about anything. He should make the list. You know what? The next time I see this video, he's making the list when I can find his name. He said, "I'm going to watch highlights of Barry Sanders and see if I'm impressed." And he wasn't impressed. And I wrote, like, "I'm a Bears fan. How, are you an idiot?" or something to the effect, like, he's the best running back ever, or at least he's in the conversation. And he doesn't impress you. You just made the list. Next week,
I'm going to have to start making a list of things that I want to put on the list.
Well, it's got to irritate me. So Rudy
I've
doesn't irritate
getting a bigger
me.
bill.
I can send you my bill. My bill was pretty high this month.
My UGI was.
That's a talk for another show.
This also makes us sound like old men complaining about the price. Utilities are too expensive these days.
Have you seen the color of the beard?
I just shaved. I'm
an old.
I'm
Do look. You look different. So if you go back to, like, the YouTube channel and you see some of the thumbnails, the evolution of your face versus mine, yours is different more often. Like, I'll color this.
Yeah.
But you have some variance between the facial hairs.
And just hair.
Take the hat off. Go ahead. Do it. You know you want to. We're 2 hours in. You just got a cut. You almost look presentable.
Almost.
Now that alfalfa looking thing, put your hat back on. You're terrible.
I think you mispronounced the word handsome.
That's a good place to stop here, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm going to yell at him off camera now about